Today we're starting a new topic called quadratics. We're not going to do everything there is to know about quadratics because you're going to study them again in Algebra 2. But there are a few things that you do need to know before you leave Algebra 1, and knowing about their parts is one of them. So that's what we're going to start with today. The first thing we're asked to do in problems is to identify the vertex and axis of symmetry of each parabola. So I'm going to do a couple for you and then ask you to try one on your own. So I'm going to start with the one on the left. The one on the left is a parabola, that's the shape of that curve, which opens down. The vertex of a parabola is the highest or lowest point. So the vertex is the highest or lowest point on a parabola. So if you look at this first parabola, you can see that the highest point is right here. And if we read from the graph, we can see it has an x-coordinate of -3 and a y-coordinate of +2. So the coordinates for the vertex of this parabola are -3, 2. The other new vocab word in this section is axis of symmetry. So the axis of symmetry of a parabola is a line that divides the curve into two identical halves. So for a parabola, that's going to be a vertical line that passes right through the vertex. So if you imagine drawing this vertical line in here, that would be the axis of symmetry. Now we know that what all points on a vertical line have in common is their x value. The x value is always the same. And conveniently, it's always the same as the x value of the vertex. So the equation for this vertical line is x equals -3. So when it's asking us to identify the axis of symmetry, we just say that it's the line x equals -3. If you think you've already got the idea, try the problem for the middle graph. Push pause while you do it, and then when you push play, you'll be able to see my answer and hear my explanation. Okay, so for you to check your work, remember that the vertex is the highest or lowest point on the parabola. This parabola opens up, so it has a lowest point instead of a highest point. The coordinates of that point are 3, 1. So the vertex is the point 3, 1. The axis of symmetry is the vertical line which passes through that point and divides the parabola into two identical halves. It's always a vertical line, and it always has the same x value as the coordinates of your vertex. So the axis of symmetry for this parabola is x equals 3. All right, this third problem in the set is going to be one of your homework problems for tonight. So after you get done listening to the second part of the video, make sure you do that one problem. Down below, we have two other parts of a parabola that are important, the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts. Now, we've studied about x-intercepts and y-intercepts when we studied lines, so this isn't a totally new idea for us. Remember, the x-intercepts are the points where the curve crosses the x-axis. So if I look, I see there's a point here and a point here where this parabola crosses the x-axis. So the x-intercepts are the points -2, 0 and 4, 0, because those are the coordinates of those 2 points. The y-intercept of a parabola is the point where the curve intersects the y-axis. So this parabola intersects the y-axis right there. That point has coordinates 0, -8. So those are the coordinates for this y-intercept. Your other homework problem is this second one, just like the one that we did together. Please identify the x-intercepts and y-intercepts. And then when you're done, take a picture of your work and submit it in the Google Classroom.